we need to know about this bin class actually. What is bin actually? And why we use this bin class? So you can say it's a reusable component which encapsulates many objects into one object. Okay, like you can say, what is encapsulation?
Using features.
Hiding the data.
Actually, abstraction means hiding the data. Encapsulation means
something like closing and not showing outside. Example is abstract as interface.
Right. So basic thing, encapsulation means binding of variables and methods. So what is variable and what is method means? Like suppose, consider how I am binding them and what is the main intention of encapsulation. Encapsulation is used to provide security. That's the first thing you can say. Suppose I am having a company thing, company class is there. So int salary. What do you mean by public?
You can access from anywhere.
So if an employee class is there here, inside the employee, can that salary be accessed? Can you access the salary or not?
No.
So public means what? We can access from anywhere, right?
Yes.
So this public int salary, is it accessible or not? I'm just asking the concept here. I'm not going for the syntax.
Yeah, it's acceptable.
Because it's public, right?
Yes.
Now, can an employee change his salary in a company?
No.
It's not supposed to.
Now, this is practically it is not possible, right? So, like anyone recording the class? Ramesh?
Yeah, right, I'm recording.
Yeah, fine. Post it in the group, okay.
Yeah, sure.
Fine. So, what I'm saying is that salary should not be accessed inside the employee class, right? So, for that reason, instead of declaring it as public, I'll declare it as private. And after that, what I will do, I'll just say public void show. Now this show is accessible, right? The salary is not accessible, but can you access the show or not?
Yes.
So employee can see his salary. Can he modify?
No.
That is encapsulation. Here, you are forcing someone, like say, this salary is being used inside the show. So without show, is there any use of declaring salary? There is no use because the employee can't view it.
Yes.
And without show, like without salary, there is no use of show, and without show, there is no use of salary. So they are both working together, they are binded together, or combined together, right? Understood my point?
Yes.
So what is happening here? That wrapping of data or binding of data, variable and the method. And here we are providing security for salary by declaring it as private. How we are providing security? The others can't modify. Other classes cannot modify that. Only company can modify. So the salary is modified by the company, right? Not the employees.
Yes.
So this can be applied in other scenarios also. Like in students, the marks will be there, right? Can a student modify their marks?
No.
No.
It's not possible, right? Whereas a faculty can modify the marks, right? So that is the thing we have to understand. Encapsulation means providing security by declaring the variables as private and the methods as public. If you want to access the variable, you have to access through the method itself. You cannot access directly. Direct change of value is not possible. In the same way, we have setter and getter methods. So what is setter and getter methods? We have to. Okay. So first thing, bin class means it's a collection of like reusable components, you can say. Okay. So what the bin class will do, it will encapsulate many objects. How to write a bin class? We are having some rules. We have to follow the rule. Okay. So we'll create a product application. I'm just opening it. First thing will be that bin class must be written inside a package itself. How to declare package? Package space package name. Simple thing, what is it? Java bin class. First is what? Bin class must be written inside the package itself. Second is what? Here the class must be implement, we can say serializable interface. Declared as public so that it can be accessed from anywhere, right? So what is serializable actually? Serializable is nothing but an interface. Suppose if you want to see
Marker interface.
yeah, like if you open the command prompt, I just have java p space java dot io dot serializable. So you have an interface without any methods, and it is known as a marker interface, right? So what is the meaning of this serializable? If a class implements the serializable interface, all the variables and methods are like depending on object. Means that variables and methods will be converted into object when you are trying to access from outside that particular class. Okay, that's the main intention of this serializable. And there are no methods, just it converts them into objects. That's it. And that's the third rule, right? What is the third rule? The class is declared as public. And after that we have these variables and methods, right? So variables of a class as public and variables are declared as private and methods are declared as public. Okay, so that's the second thing. Okay, and the methods can be accessed used so we have some setter and getter methods. What are the setter and getter methods? You can say this, you have seen the set, a variable name and get variable name. So in this way we are declaring the setter and getter methods. That's an example you can say. Okay, so for example you can have here so what's the name here? Name is a variable name you can say. But you have to set it right. Set in the sense we need to specify the parameter, right? So you can say here parameter, and here also parameter is specified. So whatever that parameter is there, that parameter will be specified. To get that particular name directly, no need of the index because the object is there. ఆ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ ద్వారా మనం డైరెక్ట్ యాక్సెస్ చేసుకోవచ్చు అని చెప్పొచ్చు. ఓకే, దట్ ఈస్ ద డిఫరెన్స్. అండ్ హియర్ ఆఫ్టర్ దిస్ 5 rules, if you want you can have the constructor for the entire class.
Right. Is it private?
No, it's like you don't have to declare it as private. It is public because we can access from anywhere. Why? To give the values. And you see the example, you understand, because I am forcing someone to follow my rules. ఇప్పుడు నేను ఒక స్టూడెంట్ క్లాస్ రాశాను, ఆ స్టూడెంట్ క్లాస్లో మార్క్స్ ఇవ్వాలి. అప్పుడు ఆ మార్క్స్ అనేది నేను ఇలా ఇస్తున్నాను. ఇంట్ అయితే ఇంట్ మాత్రమే తీసుకుంటుంది పారామీటర్, ఫ్లోట్ అయితే ఫ్లోట్ మాత్రమే తీసుకుంటుంది. ఐ విల్ సెట్ దట్ పర్టికులర్ పారామీటర్ at the beginning. Based on that we can use it. Okay, so we can declare the constructor inside, or we can constructor inside the bin class. That's the main part. Okay, now based on this bin class we need to write an example. What is that example? You can say I'm having a package. Based on that package we can retrieve the values. Like say example, I'm taking the same example we can write at the time of execution. Like package is there, and what is the package? You can say bank, because if you want a bank application you can have it, or you can say company. because if I am having an employee, company will be there. Or if you want, you can have school, because if you are having a student, then you can have the school. It depends on you, like whatever the package you want, you can have it. Okay, that's the first point, package itself. Next, after that we need to write a public class, and what is the class? You can say student. If it is school, or if you want college, you can have the college also. So student implements what? Serializable. Okay, so that is the main part. And next, after that, we have the variables. For a student, how many variables are there? And the variables must be declared as private, right? The variables of the class are declared as private, and the methods are declared as public. Okay, so I'll be having private int. Okay, what we can take for a student? I can take a ID. I can take a particular like name, a percentage, college, anything you can take, right? So I just want to directly do it inside a Eclipse itself now. I'll do the application directly in Eclipse. So what is a bin class?
That have the variables as private and methods as public.
Okay. And why we need this bin class? Because it's a group of objects which can be reusable. రీయూజబుల్ అంటే ఇప్పుడు ఇదే నేమ్ ఇవ్వాలి నేను స్టూడెంట్ కి సెట్ చేసేటప్పుడు నేను ఒకసారి డిక్లేర్ చేసి 100 times I can call it using the object. Okay, so that's the reason the set and getter methods are there. Suppose if I am having that name, set name and string name. So what do you mean by this? That particular name must be given as a parameter of string only. అప్పుడు నేను వేరే ఆబ్జెక్ట్ కాల్ చేస్తున్నాను ఇట్లా రాహుల్ డాట్ సెట్ నేమ్. So can you give 1023 123? Is it possible?
No.
Understood the difference?
Yeah.
So if you want to force someone to follow your rules, we can use the setter methods. అప్పుడు వాళ్ళు రాంగ్ ఇన్పుట్ ఇవ్వకుండా యాక్యురేట్ ఇన్పుట్ ఇస్తారు. ఓకే, సో is it voice breaking or is it fine?
Fine.
They were saying some technical issues. Yeah, so till now it's clear, right? So I'll just give a particular name. Based on that, we can set it. Okay, so next. Just taking a lot of time. So set property, get property, again two action elements will be there. After that we can see the main thing, the MVC part. And our MVC application మన like మన దాంట్లో ఇలా యాక్సెస్ చేయొచ్చు అని చెప్పొచ్చు. It's taking a lot of time. Fine. So the same way we have to write for the like here. What is that name and ID? But how to differentiate the things? Like if you see, if I write here, the instance variable name and local variable name will be same. Can you write name equals to name? Is it correct?
We can write it, but it won't take properly.
No, we can't.
Yeah, we can.
The object.
This dot.
How to differentiate?
Need to use object.
This dot.
Current class.
So we have to use a keyword. What's the keyword?
This dot.
This dot name equal to name.
Right. What does this indicates?
Object.
Current class.
Current class object. For the present class, object is indicated by the this. Okay.
Yeah.
Next we have set ID. What is set ID? You can say int ID. This is just setting that values. Again, this dot ID, right?
Yeah.
So this is very important. This means what you have to understand. And next, get methods. How to get the methods? We should have void, right? What are the two properties of a method?
It have return type and
We have a return type, right? So I'm just writing this particular return type, and after that set ID and set name, we have one more thing. What's that one more thing? You can say get. So while returning, the return type should be like similar, right? String get name. You don't have any parameter, just it will return the name. Whatever you have assigned, that name will be written from this particular variable. So next thing will be int get ID, return ID, right? So in this way you have set the getter and setter, right? Yeah. So this is a bin class, and how to set the values for this? There are two ways. Either you can write a constructor also instead of the setter methods, like say student int ID, then you can say string name, and the same things you can add it as this dot ID equals to ID, and this dot name equals to name. ఇలా two ways లో చేయొచ్చు, or the other part, right? And how to send the values? Simple thing. You create an object student Rahul equals to new student. What will happen? Here you can set the values either by using the constructor. A constructor is there. This is one way 1023, and we can give the Rahul, right? And if you want another way, or directly student Rahul equals new student Rahul dot set ID and Rahul dot set name. So there's a difference, right? Either you can use a constructor or you can use a method directly. Next thing, after this, I just have to put this eclipse here. So that's a way of accessing a like bin class, and how to use this bin class using the JSP action element. Sorry, like set property or get property. The same thing we can write it in the form of JSP use bin. అంటే ఇప్పుడు రాసిన పైన క్లాస్ కి యూజ్ బిన్ అని ఒక ట్యాగ్ ఉంది, అంటే JSP లో రాస్తున్నాం. ఇది జావా. ఆ బిన్ క్లాస్ ని యాక్సెస్ చేయాలంటే మనం ఇలా యాక్సెస్ చేస్తున్నాం by using what student object creation and calling the methods, right? And the same thing can be done using a tag known as JSP use bin tag. So how this JSP use bin tag will work? It's a instance, like it's an instance of a bin class. We can instantiate the bin class, means we can create an object for that particular bin class, you can say. Okay, so how to access this thing? What is the tag we can write? That we have to see. Angular base, the same way we have for the JSP include and forward, use bin space ID. This ID is the object name actually. So the instance name, whatever you are using. Okay, and after that we can have the package name. What is package name? Where we have declared this particular class. So that you can mention directly inside the class tag. Means here ID is not a variable. It's a predefined keyword here that indicates the object of the class. That's the reason we just named it as ID. And where is the class present? It's present inside a package known as like college dot student. And just close this particular part. Okay, so this is what a particular use bin example. The syntax will be similar, like Angular base JSP colon use bin. Inside that ID equals nothing but the object name, and class is nothing but the package dot class name. That's the second thing. What is it? Package dot class name, we can say. Okay, so that's the syntax, and this is the example. Two things we have seen inside the JSP use bin tag now. Okay, and here we have set property and get property also. The JSP set property and JSP get property. So what's the difference between them? That we have to see. Okay, so JSP set property is a tag. What is the syntax? You can say Angular base JSP colon like set property and the name equals to, that name is nothing but the object name here. Okay, and what is that property name we are trying to use inside that we have to see, and directly for the property name we can give a value. So here property will be there, and based on the property name and value also you can give. Okay, so directly property, for which property we are assigning the value, that we have to give properly. So name I'm saying, inside that I'll have the value. So what is that value we are having? Just directly close that particular tag. This is JSP set property. అంటే ఇంతకుముందు మనం ఇక్కడ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ క్రియేట్ చేసాం ఇది జావాలో. ఆబ్జెక్ట్ క్రియేట్ చేసి ఇలా కాల్ చేస్తున్నాం సెట్ ఐడి సెట్ న్యూ అని. సో JSP లో one more way of doing it. What is a tags చేసేసి. After using this tag, like here Rahul, the same Rahul object will be used for all the bin class. Understood? So here set property means you are setting the property, each and every property we can set it directly. So I have set only for that name, and if you want you can have it for the ID also. So what is it property, you can say 1023. అంటే ఇప్పుడు ఒక 10 వేరియబుల్స్ ఉన్నాయి అనుకోండి, 10 times set property రాయాలి. 15 వేరియబుల్స్ ఉంటే 15 times రాయాలి. So the length of the code is increasing, right? ఆల్రెడీ మనం HTML లో నేమ్ అనే అట్రిబ్యూట్ స్పెసిఫై చేస్తాం. ఆ నేమ్ అనే అట్రిబ్యూట్ అనేది ఏ వాల్యూ ఇండికేట్ చేస్తుందో ఇక్కడ ఉంటుంది, రైట్? ఇక్కడ వరకు క్లియరా?
Yeah.
I'm just telling about the set property and the use bean tags from the JSP, where the bin class is nothing but useful for the reusable objects, and you can use it, like we can force someone to follow the instructions of the programmer, right? And next, after this, instead of giving separately one by one, we have a shortcut like set property name equals to, that is Rahul, right? And just give that property as star. So what does that star indicates now? Here the star indicates all the variables, all the properties of the class, and that particular class name is, object name is what? Rahul. In that way you can specify it directly. For which object we are setting the value, and that is the object. Where you declare this object? In the use bin. ఇక్కడ యూజ్ బిన్ లో డిక్లేర్ చేసిన ఆబ్జెక్ట్ ని మాత్రమే ఇక్కడ యూజ్ చేయొచ్చు, లేకపోతే లేదు. అండర్స్టూడ్? అర్థమైందా? సో నెక్స్ట్ థింగ్, after writing the setter property, we should write the get property now. Setter property is nothing but set the values. Getter property is nothing but getting the value from that particular JSP object. So first thing, anchor base JSP colon, instead of set property just say get property. సో ఇదేంటిది ఇప్పుడు సిమిలర్ టు దట్ గెట్ ప్రాపర్టీ అన్నమాట. ఓకే, సో we are getting the value of the name property in the JSP tag, you can say, or similar to that we can have it for the ID also. ఇక్కడ ID కూడా direct assign చేయొచ్చు. Here the ID is nothing but the property what you are trying to set. Okay, so just we have seen that theoretically every example. Now we want to implement it practically, you can say. Okay, so instance of the bin class and the property name. In that example, like Rahul, and the property name is star. So what is star indicates?
All
All the properties.
All the particular properties. కానీ అది గెట్ కు ఉండదు, మళ్ళా సెట్ కు మాత్రమే ఉంటుంది. ఆ సెట్ కూడా ఎలా అంటే ఏదైతే వాల్యూ మనం అసైన్ చేస్తున్నామో అదే వాల్యూ ఆ పర్టికులర్ లైక్ వేరియబుల్ స్టోర్ అయిపోతుంది. అండర్స్టూడ్?
Yeah.
Everyone, is it clear?
Yeah.
Now this is get property, this is set property. And are we using any setter and getter methods? Yes. Here we are using the setter and getter methods. I have to do a program for this particular entire thing, just based on a form. ఆ ఫామ్ ఇచ్చిన వాల్యూస్ కి నాకు ఏంటంటే యూజ్ బిన్ క్లాస్ యూజ్ చేసి ఆ ప్రాసెస్ ని జరుపుతున్నాను. ఓకే, అండ్ జనరేటింగ్ ద సెటర్ అండ్ గెటర్ మెథడ్స్ విల్ హెల్ప్ in reusing the particular concepts. In JSP, we directly get the object, and based on the object, we can access the values. That is the thing. Understood? Now, ఇక్కడ నేను ఇప్పుడు I need to write some tags. Based on the tags, it will get executed. So I'll create an application known as JSP bin class file. So I'll get the application. What is the application name I want to create? I want to create it as what is it name? JSP bin class. Bin class example got just JSP bin class and again. Do we need web.xml for the JSP files? It's taking a lot of time actually. So this is a background process where it is allocating the memory for all things separately. I'm struggling a lot actually. I've written the JSP set property, JSP get property, and the tags, right? So we need to create a index.html. Based on the index, I'll just have to write down whether it's true or false. I have to check it directly from the database. Now I've just created a bin class. Inside that I have to create a package. Based on the package we can execute the things. So SRC lo right click chestanu. Right click chesi new servlet you can create or a JSP. Okay, but now I want only the Java class. So how to create a Java class? We will have a separate class thing. So don't use a servlet thing now. So new this particular class. Servlet అనేది like JVM కాకుండా servlet engine access చేస్తుంది. Okay, and whereas here like what is happening class ఈ క్లాస్ అనేది నేను రాస్తున్నాను. ఏంటి క్లాస్ అది? We should give this package name, right? College is the package name. What do you have? Student together first.
Yes.
So you just created student.java, right? Next, after that, this particular JSP. So before the JSP, you can have a particular HTML. Anything, like say, right click on this. Yeah. Bin class, apart from the bin class, web content right click chesi akkada new that particular HTML file or a JSP file. Anything you can take. This is no restriction. But JSP and this only JSP out. So what's the file name you can say? We have a class where that bin class will get executed. Right? So what's the class name you can take? Anything, right? I'll just give the class name or the JSP. The file name as index.jsp. Index ఏంటంటే by default execute అయ్యేది. Who is executing that? The JSP engine or the servlet engine. Now in this thing I need to write a particular form action tag where username and password will be taken. Based on the username and password it will execute. Like say first the form action equals to what do we have?
Indicator.
What is that action element you can take? Anything, right? So I'll just say add data or add.jsp. So now after this so what do we have? Name. The input type is what? Text. Next name. What is it? Name attribute ID. But which is of string format, right? So name will be there. Based on that name, password will be there. So directly we can't have it for the password. So input type equals to input type password actually, right, and name equals to password. అంతే కదా, నేమ్ ఇస్తే నేమ్ అట్రిబ్యూట్ దగ్గర వచ్చేస్తుంది. ఓకే, and if you want you can have it a placeholder. What's a placeholder? Placeholder is nothing but what message you want to pass. Placeholder equals to enter student ID. Right, so enter ID, or you can have one more placeholder. What is it? Enter username, we can say, right? That's a placeholder things. Is it clear till now? And just declared a username and password based on the username and password and retrieving the data. Okay, and after that we need a button or a reset. Directly we can take a button. Input type equals to submit. Means what? We'll get a particular button. When you click that button, this add.jsp will get executed. Value equals to what we have. The already form action is there, right? Now for that we need to write a add.jsp. Okay, but we haven't written any, what you can say, bin class. Already I have written in the notepad, right? The same thing I'll just write on here. అక్కడ రాసింది ఇక్కడ కాపీ చేసినాను అంతే. ఈ బిన్ క్లాస్ ని నేను ఎలా యాక్సెస్ చేయాలని చెప్తున్నాను. ఓకే, సర్వే ప్రాపర్టీస్ డైరెక్ట్లీ హియర్ సీరియలైజబుల్ ప్యాకేజ్ అనేది ఇంపోర్ట్ చేసుకోవాలి. ఇంపోర్ట్ చేసుకోకపోతే మనం యూజ్ చేయలేము. ఓకే, సో ఇన్స్టెడ్ ఆఫ్ ఆర్ డైరెక్ట్లీ యూ హావ్ టు యూజ్, instead of a constructor directly the method, it's better. So that is the standard Java. ఇప్పుడు ఇది మొత్తం ఒక బిన్ క్లాస్, దీనికి సెటర్ అండ్ గెటర్ మెథడ్స్. సపోజ్ ఐఎమ్ నాట్ రైటింగ్ ద సెటర్ అండ్ గెటర్ మెథడ్స్, ఇది నేను రాయట్లేదు, ఇది రిమూవ్ చేశాను. నేను రాయకున్నా సరే ఈ వేరియబుల్స్ కి సెటర్ అండ్ గెటర్ మెథడ్స్ ఎలా జనరేట్ అవుతాయి? Means right click, here we have actually we'll be having the source లో generate setter and getter methods ఉన్నాయి చూడండి. అంటే ఇప్పుడు ఇక్కడ రాయట్లేదు, జస్ట్ ఆ వేరియబుల్స్ డిక్లేర్ చేశాను. డిక్లేర్ చేసిన వేరియబుల్స్ కి సెలెక్ట్ చేసుకొని అండ్ జస్ట్ డైరెక్ట్లీ గివింగ్ ద థింగ్. So setter method, getter methods automatically generate అయిపోయాయి కదా. That is the advantage here. Okay. Now, what is the left out thing now? The JSP. What JSP? Add.jsp you can say. Right click. Add.jsp. So ఇక్కడ నేను చేస్తున్నాను ఆ పర్టికులర్ index.jsp లో వాల్యూస్ ఉన్నాయి. అవి ఎంటర్ చేసినప్పుడు add.jsp కి వాల్యూస్ ట్రాన్స్ఫర్ అవుతుందని చెప్తున్నాను. By using the bin class we can access the values also. Okay, those two things are different when you are setting the value and when you are trying to get the value, right? So the thing is we are having add value in add అయినప్పుడు add.jsp exit అవుతుంది. Where is add.jsp here? So ఇక్కడ డిజైన్ పార్ట్ అనేది సేమ్ ఉంటుంది, ఓన్లీ ట్యాగ్స్ చేంజ్ అవుతాయి. ఏంటో ట్యాగ్స్ విల్ హ్యావ్ లైక్ add.jsp వన్ ఫైల్, దీంట్లో రాయాలి మనం. ఏం రాస్తున్నాం ఇప్పుడు? డైరెక్ట్ యాక్సెస్ చేయొచ్చు. ఓకే, హౌ టు యాక్సెస్ దట్? జావా కోడ్ రాయాలంటే ఎలా రాస్తాం? యాంగులర్ బేస్ పర్సెంటైల్. అదే HTML కోడ్ రాయాలంటే ఎలా రాస్తాం? ఇక్కడ రైట్. ఓకే, సో JSP bin లో ఆ యూజ్ బిన్ ట్యాగ్స్ ఎలా యూజ్ చేస్తాం? JSP use bin id equals to that particular Rahul. And based on that id we have a class. What is that class you have? College.student. What's it saying? Multiple annotations used, percentile is not required. ఇక్కడ percentile యూజ్ చేయము మనం, percentile బదులు స్లాష్ యూజ్ చేస్తాం అంతే. ఓకే, next after this I can set the values. How to set the values? Two things are there, star or directly giving the values. Which is better? Star. So use bins యూజ్ బిన్ లో ప్రాపర్టీ ఉంటుంది, లేదా యూజ్ బిన్ కాకుండా సెట్ ప్రాపర్టీ. Again that set property will be having this part. Okay, so property name equals to star. Which name you want? Star indicates all and here name indicates object. So Rahul is an object. Save this particular part. ఇవి సెట్ చేయడానికి మాత్రమే, మళ్ళీ రికార్డ్స్ డిస్ప్లే చేయాలి కదా. How to get the property values? Individual tag must be written. Angular base JSP set property for that property name directly you can specify either name, a password or anything, and here the name will be the object name. What is that object name? Rahul. And the same way we have to do it for the
Is it a get property?
Yeah, సెట్ అయిపోయింది కదా. సెట్ అంటే వాల్యూ సెట్ చేస్తున్నాం మనం అక్కడ. ఆల్రెడీ వాల్యూ అంటే డైరెక్ట్లీ మనం అయితే హెచ్టిఎంఎల్ వాల్యూస్ ఇచ్చామో అక్కడ పైన సెట్ అయిపోయింది. ఇక్కడ వాల్యూస్ అనేవి గెట్ అవుతున్నాయి. ఇక్కడ నేను వాల్యూ ఇవ్వట్లేదు, కానీ ఏవైతే నేను ఇండెక్స్ డాట్ జేఎస్పీలో వాల్యూ ఇస్తానో ఆ ఇండెక్స్ డాట్ జేఎస్పీలో ఇచ్చిన వాల్యూస్ ఇక్కడ యాక్సెస్ అయిపోతాయి. బట్ నాకు యూజర్ నేమ్ అండ్ పాస్వర్డ్ ఇచ్చాను నేను స్టూడెంట్ డాట్ జావాలో, రైట్. సో హియర్ ఆల్సో యూ హ్యావ్ టు చేంజ్ దట్ థింగ్. ఇక్కడ యూజర్ నేమ్ అంటే నేమ్ అని ఉంది, రైట్, అండ్ పాస్వర్డ్ అంటే పాస్వర్డ్. సో వాట్ I'll do one thing. I'll change the variables as private string username, private string password. Okay, so I need to get the setter and getter methods. Directly right click చేసి I can go for the source will generate the getter and setter methods. Select all. After that, okay, so directly getter and setter methods వచ్చాయి కదా, they have been created. Okay, and next after this what we have, index.jsp లో వాల్యూస్ ఇచ్చాము, add.jsp కి వెళ్తున్నాయి. add.jsp లో ఏం చేస్తున్నాము, directly based on the property values we are trying to access them. Okay, and now I need to display that things. Just record, and based on the record we are displaying it. So one is get property name, we got the name, and the other thing is password. Two things will be there. So what is it, get property equals to name and get property equals to the password. So we are given that name only, right, inside that index.jsp. Yeah, okay, I've given it as ID and password. Enter student name, enter student password. In this way add.jsp will display the values which are retrieved from that particular record. Okay, so BR indicates what? Next line. So right click on the application, run as, you can say run on server. So this entire thing is nothing but the JavaBean tags. ఇవి MVCలో యూజ్ చేస్తాం. How we are using that we have to see in the tomorrow's class. MVC. Once of time not acceptable problem. System slow and run as run on server. 45 seconds. It's getting timed actually. So you try out in your systems, you get the same result, like giving the value from the text box and the values are getting displayed in the JSP. That's it. Okay. So if you're not getting, just message me. I'll check out. And tomorrow's class will see the JSP tag. Sorry, MVC in JSP. Okay. That's it for today. Ramesh, try to post that video on the group.
Okay.